me. Help me. Help me. Help me. Help me. Help me. Nigga. Help me.
And welcome back to Fast Stock Market News, where I give you all the news as fast as I can. So as we can see, guys, today was thankfully the end of the last trading day of the week. It was absolutely brutal for a lot of us. Unless you have a whole lot of puts out there, you're probably in the red today. And as we can see, the S&P 500 finished negative 0.57% in the red. The Dow finishing 0.3% in the red, and the Nasdaq having another rough day, finishing negative 1.4% in the red. Overall, there's a lot of news today. They released the jobs reports. Nothing really groundbreaking. Not a whole lot of like new jobs that were added. It was kind of within line of what estimates were supposed to be. But right now, honestly, this sell-off, guys, and I'll be honest and just get to the point right away. The whole sell-off has to do right now with the Fed and the bond market. Basically, the bond market thinks that the Fed is wrong. They think that they don't have control of inflation, and all these like articles you're reading about how like basically the Fed is going to lose control of inflation. He doesn't know what he's doing, and it's just a bunch of like paid crap that they want to get investors to basically. These people pay these companies to pay to kind of put out a certain like topic or a certain click. Headline, I should say, to kind of just scare the market. Overall, like I said, and I said this before and I'll say it again, I am not selling. I refuse to sell no matter how low stocks go. In fact, I'm dollar cost averaging in still to this day. And that's just like the whole report. As you can see, guys, the bond market, again, the 10-year treasury went up over 3.1% today. So this is like a big driving factor. Basically, the bond market is telling the Fed, we think you're wrong. We think you've lost control of inflation. So we're going to solve it ourselves. And by the the 10-year bond going up, that means equities go down. And right now, as you can see, we're going really down. So, but don't take my word for it. You could also, I want you guys to watch this video and just to get some more insight on what's happening.
And so the bond market's telling you that the Fed is wrong. And don't fight the Fed. And I think the bond market's actually being disrespectful to the Fed. The Fed's the smartest person in the room.
Disrespectful?
I'm going to stick with the Fed.
Disrespectful?
Yeah.
How are they the smartest people in the room? I mean, inflation was screaming in their face, and they ignored it.
Well,
how are they the smartest people in the room?
Well, I don't agree. They're the smartest people in the room because think about what they did in March of 2020 for this country and for the rest of the world in terms of the liquidity, Scott.
They did what anybody would have done.
Number two, no, we didn't do it before in 2008. We made mistakes in 2000. We made mistakes in 1994.
We
made mistakes
from
in 2018.
those mistakes, right? They're smart enough to have learned from the mistakes. They did what anybody would have done.
The bond market is not. The bond market is misjudging the Fed. The bond market is. I think the bond market's ahead of its skis here. I really do. And if you listen to other very smart fixed income investors, they're telling you that the fixed income market is massively oversold, Scott. And so if the Fed came out and said that the neutrality rate is somewhere between 2% and 3%, we're already there in the 10-year Treasury. And what if the market is not thinking about anything I said in the second half? What if inflation rolls over? And if inflation rolls over, this market is going to rip to the upside.
Guys, that's pretty much the gist of everything that's happening right now. The bond market is basically trying to take control of the market. They think the Fed's lost all control. But I think to the point of the gentleman from BMO, as he said, that if the inflation does roll over, and a key numbers to remember, guys, because it's an absolutely important date before you hear it anywhere else, Wednesday, May 11th, the most important day of the month, possibly the most important day for the next couple of months, is the day that the CPI data comes out. The CPI data will determine if we will rip or will probably continue to sell off. If you remember last month, it was 8.5%. If that data goes below 8.5% inflation, let's say 8.2, 8.3, this market's gonna rip someone's butt off. That's all I'm gonna say. It's gonna absolutely rip, because what that would mean is that the Fed does have inflation under control and it's going lower. However, the CPI data reads that it's going to be a lot higher, This time around, if it goes to 8.8, for example, then we could be in for some more pain, guys. So it's just a very important thing to keep track of when it comes to CPI data starting on Wednesday, May 11th. Mark this down on your calendar, guys. The most important day of the month right here. And again, it's going to happen at 5:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, so be on the lookout for that, guys. But yeah, that'll do it for me, guys. If you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing. Thanks again. Take care. Thanks again, everyone, for watching Fast Stock Market News. If you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing, commenting, or liking the video. I would greatly appreciate it. My name is Gio, and I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Take care.